right, everybody, let's do this video together. I met up with the owners of Driven Luck Circuit, and before we get on to this whole video, I want to just share some simple event host math with you real quickly to kind of think about this. So if I was going to build a track like Driven Luck Circuit, I would imagine by the time I had bathrooms, a real building of some kind, a track that's viable, that's defended from like people going off and destroying the things, so concrete aprons, a track that's of significant size that I could run enough drivers to make money, a paved road to get in, and paved pits, and just all the little things, water hookups and electricity and stuff that we would need. That's probably about $1.5 million at bare minimum. If you think about that, think about how much a house costs, where you need to build a house with a gigantic driveway, basically. Anyways, about $1.5 million, I'm guessing. At 10% interest, the debt on that would be about $14,000 per month over 30 years. Realistically, you need to get this thing to make money way before the 30-year mark, because you're going to destroy the place and the track is not going to last that long without being repaved and like updated significantly. But let's just say, for argument's sake, you could do this debt for $14,000 a month with 3 people working at the track, which they do have. I think for this track, you're going to need $3,000 a month per person to have a decent little living, and that's $9,000 in labor that the track needs to like take in. Fuel, equipment, water, dirt, probably another $2,000 at least per month. With insurance and fire and safety and all these other things, it is going to be more, but I'm trying to keep this easy. So that's going to be about a nut to crack of $25,000 per month with all the debt and labor taken into consideration. And now I want you guys to think about how many drivers and spectators you would need at what price to make that work. Because they're only going to be able to operate a couple times a month at most, because they'll oversaturate the market in their local area. If they try and host an event every day or every week or every 2 weeks, they probably can throw one good event per month and then a bunch of private rentals. And at some point, if they were closer to a major city, they could do track rentals for carts and stuff. A track this size could never work for road racing, unfortunately, or any type of HPDE thing, so it's only for drifters. And then what they're currently doing, I'm guessing, is about 30 drivers at $200 a piece, which is $6,000 in income per month, maybe once a month, maybe twice a month at the moment, and maybe another $1,000 in spectators. Now that means they're probably nowhere near this amount of debt, because I think that they said they didn't have any debt at the moment, but that still is debt in some ways. Someone needs to be paid back for all that. You don't want to just blow your life savings or someone else's. And they need to, that right now, that's not even really paying just for the labor that's being put into the property. For them to do this for 15 years or something like that and raise families and have a real income, they need to actually make money. So I want you guys to think about this stuff when you look at a track like this. I'm breaking down the math for you super simply. It's way more difficult than this, and this is all guesses. I don't really know what commercial like debt is for interest rates. I don't really know what the place would actually cost in whatever state they're in to build the thing or anything else. Right now, I don't think they actually get a full 30 drivers at every event. Sometimes it's less, but that's their driver cap, and that's the most they want to do at the moment. But you can see that currently is not going to work out probably how they're doing this. So they need to figure out their business plan and work with it. Anyways, let's get started.
Hello, YouTube. I find it super interesting that in drifting, you run around influential people that are doing stuff all the time. It's going to be a little bit loud in here because I didn't want to tell everybody to shut up. Maybe I should. But anyways, we're just going to jump into it. First of all, everybody always talks about, oh, we should go build a drift track with our boys. We should do this. We should do that. Very few people have ever done it. We're about 23 years into American drifting now, and people are actually starting to do it. There's drift tracks, like purpose-built drift tracks, being built and popping up all over the country now. Very slowly, but it's happening. And people have been building, or I guess buying and then building out of that old cart tracks like Mid Pond, which we're at right now, and repurposing into drift tracks. That comes with pluses and minuses. They're not wide enough, they're too small, all these different things. So they build concrete aprons and they widen them. And anyways, there's retrofitting old cart tracks, there's using big road courses, and then these guys are building a brand new track, or they did build a brand new track. So I want to ask some questions and show everything for you guys. So let's do this.
All right, introduce yourselves.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Coy Dillard. I'm the middle child of the group.
And you are?
I am Caden Dillard. I'm the youngest child of the group.
Okay, and don't be
humble or anything because we need to know exactly what you guys did. Tell us how you built a track, why you built a track, the name of the track, what's going on.
Well, first off, we're always going to be humble, and there's nothing that you can say or do to make us change that. We were very fortunate and passionate for drifting in the beginning, and our parents saw that passion, and the way they put it to us is they wanted us to be able to enjoy our inheritance before they were gone, and see us enjoy that inheritance. So the racetrack is basically our inheritance paid forward. So, we owe everything to our mom and dad. They're the reason why the track's there. They're the reason why, we are who we are today. We owe everything to them.
You want to add anything to that?
No, I think Coy touched up on it pretty perfect.
Okay, so tell us the name of the circuit now. Who wants to tell us all these details?
Who wants to tell him?
Are you going to be the talker or are you going to jump in?
We'll let Coy do the talking.
Okay.
I'm doing the talking.
So tell us
All right.
about the track name, where it's actually located, when you built it, and just start off with those basic details for the
Yeah,
audience.
for sure, man. It's
Pimp
Driven
it,
Look-
you need customers.
Yeah, we do.
Yes.
We do. It's Driven Look Circuit. It's located in Bryan, Alabama. Total track length is 1,380 feet. The straight is 235 feet, I think, in total. So you've got enough space to click third and do some really cool entries, and it's designed to be more of a power equalizer. So it doesn't matter whether you have 1,000 horsepower or 250. You can come out there, have a good time with us. The goal is, one, to have a good time, and then two, to hone in your lead and chase driving. So our main focus is to have hard driving with consistent lines, so that your chase driver knows exactly when you're going to be transitioning and when to dive, when not to dive. So we're really based on progression and aggression, and it's more that Japanese style that you don't often see in the States anymore.
Okay, why did you need to build your own track?
I don't think that it was that we needed to. The Southeast, I was stationed in Norfolk, Virginia. I moved back to Tennessee. I'm originally from Chattanooga. We are. So moved back to Chattanooga and started going around to different tracks in the Southeast. We hadn't found Mid Pond yet. But we would go to random parking lot events or just whatever we could get our hands on and go out and drive. And every time you went out there, it was always either a figure eight or something set up with cones, and it was always single driver, one person sent, and then you would go drive, and you would sit in a grid for what felt like forever. And what I was used to and what Caden learned to drive on was open track. So you go do tech, track goes hot, you go up, you wait for the flagger to tell you to go, you go out and you go drive. And we kind of got addicted to that, and we missed it, tremendously. So, we were spending a couple $1,000s to go to each event, between my truck with diesel and the 2-car trailer and fuel and tires and everything else, and then just the monotony of working in corporate America. We just decided that maybe it'll be better, maybe it'll be easier for us just to make our own thing and kind of pursue that, and so we have. And so far it's been going pretty well.
Okay.
Pretty well.
Now I'm going to start blasting off all the questions people really want to know.
Okay.
All right. How long did it take to build the track from start to finish?
So it took us. So we bought the land a year and a half ago, and then in about 6 months from dirt work to finished track is how long it took us to get the track done. We've had the track done since early September of 2023.
Okay.
Is that right? 23?
I think 23 is right.
2023.
Now, You don't have to say exactly how much you guys spent, but how much would a person that wants to build a track, how much should they set aside?
So the best advice that I can give you
Is don't build a track.
no. Absolutely do. And if you have any questions, serious questions, please reach out to us and we'll help you the best we can. So the best advice, your prices are always going to be different. Gauging on location, how close you are to a plant, the businesses that you get wrapped up in. So what we did was just reach out to any and every company that we could. We got as many quotes as we possibly could. And we didn't go with the cheapest. We went with the company itself that we could connect to the best. And Kistner Paving for asphalt was the one that we kind of the vibes were there, I guess, for a lack of a better term. They were really good guys, and they kind of understood where we were coming from, and they worked with us, and it took them 3 days to pave the track. Dirt work was a different situation. We had a guy that was a neighbor of ours that was like, hey, I know a guy that does dirt work. He might be able to come up and help you guys out. So he came up, we had the track laid out in flags, and he came out, looked at it, and he was like, yeah, I would love to do it, but I would love more if you guys help me do it. So he taught me and Caden how to run dump trucks, how to run a skid steer, how to run a track hoe, how to run bulldozers.
That sounds more fun than drift cars.
Oh man, it's a blast. It is a blast. If you get the chance to run heavy machinery, highly recommend. That stuff's sick. So he helped us out there, and then with us working on the track, that obviously helped our price because he didn't have to pay any hands. So we got extremely fortunate with the group of people that we had, not only doing the dirt work but also the asphalt and finishing stuff. So your best bet is to reach out to as many companies as you can and try and make those connections, for yourself and working out deals along the way.
Did you have a guess of money that someone should set aside for it?
So
doesn't need to be how much you spent, like I said, but just
I think
ballpark
a good gauge after land is paid for, just for dirt work and asphalt. We have a pretty small track, like it's 1,380 feet,
right.
So it's less or a little over a quarter mile. So something around there, probably 150, 250,000, somewhere around there.
Oh, that's pretty cheap.
It's not bad.
How about for like a 1 mile track? Would that just scale up to about $500,000, $1 million?
Yeah, see, I'm not really sure. Yeah, I'm not really sure on a half mile or full mile.
I think a lot of people think it's more expensive than what you guys paid.
For sure.
But you also don't have buildings, a parking lot that's paved, right?
Or houses.
Or houses. So by the time you did all that stuff, you're probably going to get way up there.
Yeah, I mean, it adds up.
Y'all did
quick.
the bare essentials.
Our pit area is 200 by 300, and to get that paved alone is $108,000
Oh wow! So it's like as much as the damn track
from the same company
Wow.
that paved the track.
That's crazy.
I think it's actually more asphalt to pave the parking lot than it was the track.
That's
Which is
crazy.
really weird because the parking lot is tiny in like pictures and such. The
Yeah.
track is way bigger.
How much do you think the facility like this would cost to build the entire thing?
Oh, I have no idea.
Oh, so you're not good at this yet?
No,
like
no.
whatchamacallit.
So his track, mid pond is significantly longer.
I think the one's a little over a mile.
Yeah.
Wow,
So it would
mid
be-
pond feels teeny tiny. So y'all's track is a quarter the size of mid
It
pond.
is, yeah.
It's
but
like
it's
a 5-second lap.
No,
Roughly 5 seconds you've made it around the whole track.
and it's
It is so fun.
constant adrenaline.
That's
Whatever you
cool.
pull off, your hands are.
Yeah, the
So-
cars can normally only last about 3 laps because it's constant, just like full throttle, so it's just cooking everything.
you mean the tires, or you just mean the
Just like the heat.
the
The tires
radiators
will
and
last
stuff?
all day. Like radiators, like water temp, oil temp, stuff like that.
Unless you have a 350Z.
unless you have
Yeah.
Okay. So the next question is what did you learn building a track?
We've learned.
I mean, obviously you've learned a lot, but what are the bad things you've learned, I suppose, not to do?
Track setup is very important.
What does that mean?
So like your layout. Whenever you're making your layout, you have to think of everything. And if you have
Speed's a big one.
speed is a big one, and it's hard to gauge those without any comparison, right? Like if you're trying to make something that's completely new, you can't take your car out in the middle of a wheat field and run it through the dirt.
Why can't you?
Well, it's hard to gauge the difference between dirt and asphalt, right? So we tried. Don't get me wrong. My car has taken a few beater laps around the wheat field. But,
I watched James Dean and those guys, and they actually do drift in grass fields. Like that's how they learn in Ireland.
Yeah, that
It's
is
nuts.
nuts. It is nuts, but it's completely different whenever you translate that from no grip to having the grip of an asphalt track. So the advice there, I think that we've learned, make it wider than you think you should, and make it longer than you think you should, because the speed doesn't translate from asphalt and grass.
So you're saying the place is a teeny tiny bit small, and you'd like it to be bigger?
Yes.
Okay.
And we plan on widening it.
Yeah, but you have another chance to build a bigger circuit next to it one day as
And
well.
that's the plan. Yeah, we've got 30 acres in total, and I think
for the track.
5 of that we're living on, and then we've got another bit for a pumpkin patch that we do every year, and then the rest of the property is sanctioned to the track. So we've got the Driven Lux circuit that we have now on the left side, and the right side will be a lot larger than the track that we currently have.
My next question is I keep forgetting them as I think of them. How far away from a major metropolitan city are you?
We are, well, Walmart is the best gauge, right? We're 30 minutes from the closest Walmart.
But I mean like a million person city.
So we have really, it's not million person cities, but we have like Nashville, it's 2 hours away. Knoxville's 2 hours away. Birmingham's 2 hours away. Atlanta's 2 hours away, and then we have Chattanooga that's about 45 minutes.
Okay, so y'all are kind of a destination thing then.
Right. So we're kind of
People
like right
need
in
to
the
come
center.
out and get a hotel and do all that stuff.
Yeah, easily.
How are y'all going to scale that in the future? I mean, do y'all have to worry? Is there stuff like 30 minutes away for people to sleep at, or does everyone have to camp at your facility?
Well, no, there's Airbnb is pretty close.
Okay.
And you can find their link on our website, right? Don't we have that on there?
I'm pretty sure we can find it on there, yeah.
Okay. So it's called Paradise Point. You can check up there. Their prices are pretty nice.
I think they're like 15-person cabins is like their biggest one.
Oh, wow.
If you can get a group, a bunch of people to get together, there's definitely places to stay.
But I mean, did you guys think about ever, like, if you want to have 1,000 people as spectators and monetize the place off of spectators instead of just the drivers, did you think about building it really close to a major metropolitan area? Or is it just so much easier and cheaper to do it in the middle of nowhere?
So our main goal is not profit.
Yeah.
We need enough money to be able to buy food throughout the month, and that's about it.
I know, but
So-
if you did make a bunch of profit, you could scale and just continually build
Right.
tracks.
Our goal is, eventually to have
Be a little Ebisu.
Something like that.
Absolutely. But the goal is to eventually have like tiny home type stuff for drivers and spectators like to come out and rent if you'd like, or powered camper spots so people can come out, bring their campers and plug those up. We are planning to build a bathhouse pretty soon. But above the bathhouse, we need paved pits, a paved road. So we got some things to do before we get there. But, the spectator fee is $10 to come in. And your camping fee, if you were to bring a camper, would be $20
Yeah.
for the whole weekend. Like, we just want you to come out and have a good time. And
Understood.
that's it.
Yeah.
Bring the love back to the sport, if that makes sense.
I know, but whenever I hear about tracks, I want them to make good money so they can expand and be fantastic. And like the more money you guys make, the more that you can put into it, because it sounds like that's what you want to do.
For sure.
So I just think about that. I think about how can you get 1,000 people to a remote location like you could do huge bash events because people do go to remote locations, but then you have to house 1,000 people somehow,
Right.
which you guys are now learning. Like you have to have bathrooms for people, especially girls, because like the guys will pee outside, but the girls
Just
will
the showers, man. The showers are important.
not. Yeah.
I
Showers
want
are
to deal with a bunch of
important,
stinky
dude.
people standing in my office.
So now that you're track owners, how often, not in the first 2 weeks of driving or whatever, because I'm sure you guys were excited and drove it every single day kind
So
of thing.
believe it or not,
You're-
we didn't.
You didn't?
No, we paved it, and it took us probably 3 days before we even thought about going and driving on it.
Well, you got to let it cure for a while, don't you?
Well, so that's a funny story. That's a
Yeah.
funny story, actually. They had just got done doing their last run, and Michael, his name's Mike. Mike Kistner is the owner of Kistner Paving, and I was like, hey man, how long do I need to let this sit before we go out and drive on it? And he said, if it was mine, I'd be out there right now. I was like, don't play with me. He's like, I'm being serious. Go grab a car. So within 2 hours of the track being done was when we took our first laps.
Wow,
on
and it
the
doesn't
track.
matter?
Apparently not.
Apparently
He was like,
not,
just
yes.
stay off of the stuff that we just paved.
Yeah.
But other than that, the rest of the track's fair game.
Oh, that's crazy. So how much do y'all drive now?
Really not that often.
Well,
No?
if we've got tires and our cars run.
That's not what I asked, though. I said, how much do you actually drive?
Not often.
Not
If
often.
If that's the actual question, not
Yeah.
often.
It's not as much as one would think, right? Like it's easy to say, oh, I've got a track, I've got my car, I'll go out and drive, every day. But we don't do that, and I think the main contributor to that is just being busy with, groundskeeping. Because what you don't think about whenever you start a business is all of the other aspects of a business that you have to run.
Yeah.
So we're doing merch. We're making our shirts and stickers and everything else, and then we're doing advertising, and we're making flyers, and we're going out and groundskeeping 30 acres. So we're constantly mowing and weed eating and
Putting all the dirt back that the people like to
Backfilling.
take home with us.
Oh,
That's
God.
taking dirt home.
You guys now understand, like, as event organizers, how little respect people have for
Yes.
your property.
Yes.
It's insane how, oh man, I don't want to sound awful. Ugh.
no, we get it. We get it. We get it. And it's
One
it's
little
not.
dirt drop is like 4 hours of work for us. It is
Yeah.
awful.
I wanted to just say how stupid and disrespectful the average drifter is, but that sounds awful until you guys are like, yep.
No, it's the truth.
I don't really think that it's fully the driver's fault, right? Because dirt drops happen.
Yeah.
You're gonna go. off
Except
track
they
every
just
now and
stand
then.
on it rooster tailing like,
Yeah.
It's the
digging
intentional
holes.
ones that
Yeah.
hurt, and we'll see them happen. We'll see them happen, and we're standing there like, whoa, dude, like,
Yeah.
somebody get the tractor, because that's where we're gonna be doing for the next 2 days. But then, honestly, backfilling the track probably takes up a good 60% of our time.
wow.
I think it took us 3 days to mow the other day. There's
Wow.
lots of mowing, but putting the dirt back into making it like pretty.
Yeah.
Well,
you could
it's
say.
probably 2.5 days to mow, and then a solid like day and a half putting dirt back on the outsides of the track. And if you don't do that, which we've found out the hard way, if you don't backfill the track, the asphalt just goes away.
Slowly starts disappearing.
Oh, that's
Inch by
another thing
inch.
that you guys are like finding out. Concrete aprons, you're gonna have to go put
Very
those
important.
in. That's
Very
gonna cost
important.
some money, and like as you just keep adding to this damn track,
Yeah.
it just keeps going.
definitely.
It's
So
like
the-
building your first drift car and finding out
Right.
it needs tires, and, other
Yeah, it
stuff as
really
you go.
is.
So the concrete alone, and I'm glad you brought that up. The concrete alone is going to cost us around $14,000, and we actually have a GoFundMe up at the moment. So if anybody wanted to help the track out,
Link it to me on my Instagram, and I'll put in the description
That'd be
of this
fantastic.
YouTube video,
I'd appreciate that.
and I'll give you some money.
Thank you. So we've got that up, and that'll that 14,000. It's between like 14 and 15, somewhere around there. I don't remember the number off the top of my head. But that money will also build us a wall in between turn 2 and the straight.
Mm-hmm.
So then it'll be a little safer, because right now we have plastic barriers. And they're
Right now,
not-
it's not safe, is what you're saying?
I didn't
I mean,
say
it
that.
is.
I didn't say
but it's
that.
not
Not safe. Just stay on the track. Stay on the track and it's safe. That's it.
Jesus. So, what else can you tell me about owning a track? Oh, here, one other thing will go before you do that. I like the idea of your parents giving your inheritance in advance and trying to create like a business for you guys while you're still young and letting you like play entrepreneur for a while.
Yeah.
You're learning quickly, I bet too. Way quicker than working at McDonald's. Not saying that's what you're doing, but you know, like you're actually doing something where you're constantly problem solving and constantly learning lessons all day long, and you're, you know, figuring all this stuff out and doing it, which is a huge thing. Oh God, I'm so scatterbrained at events. I don't know where I was going with this. Oh, anyways, I was just complimenting. I like that idea of the entrepreneurial thing. And I know exactly where I was going. So many people get into drifting and like their first thing is like, my parents have money and they're going to give me money for whatever reason. I'm building a Formula D car and I'm doing this. Every pro spec team so far could have built a new fucking track
Absolutely.
with the money. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I've been
for sure.
saying that for a decade too, because you guys, not saying your parents would have probably given you money for, you know, clutch kickers or something
I don't
else.
know, man. They probably would have. I don't know. They probably would have.
But there's a lot of people that
So-
would spend 200 grand on a car
Yeah.
where you could build a whole damn track.
So my parents.
Oh, one other thing. Most tracks do not cost that much. Most tracks, by the time you're done, are in the millions. So we're giving you a false sense. Look, they're shaking their heads. By the time you build like a building for people to stand in, plumbing, bathrooms, running water.
It adds up really.
Yeah, I was
fast.
gonna say you're gonna be in the millions.
Stack up really quick.
To have a solid facility as a whole, it takes a lot of money. But if you wanted to plop a track in the middle of a wheat field, like we
cheap.
did, it's not so bad. As far as, you know, building a racetrack goes, it's pretty cheap.
Now that I think about that, by the way, you guys are probably the cheapest track outside of an itty bitty kart track, like
Absolutely.
that I know of.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely.
Because also no one builds them in the middle of nowhere without like
And that's the most beautiful thing.
in a
too.
wheat field.
We called Jackson County, and that's where we're located, is Jackson County, Alabama. We called them and was like, hey, you know, what kind of permits do we need? Is there any?
They laughed.
They did. They said, you build it, and we'll figure it out later. And we were like, cool, okay, awesome. Do we need any permits for the houses? And they were like, no, just build the houses.
That's hilarious.
And we're like, okay, I'm sorry we bothered you.
It was wild.
All right. Well, we're going about 25 minutes, and I can go forever. But is there anything you want us to talk about specifically? Because remember, you're watching, like a person's watching YouTube, and you are a special individual that has built probably the cheapest drift track in North America. And you've done it recently, and you have all this information. And whether or not you want to divulge all the information or not doesn't matter. But like, you've done something no one else has done. So we're capturing a moment that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Especially before, like, in 10 years, you're withered old men like Ken over in the background. Like, I hate that my back hurts.
My back already hurts.
Yeah,
It's
same.
barely started now.
I think, you know, our main goal is to bring the love of the sport back. And especially in the Southeast, there was a time where hostility and toxicity kind of took over, and it wasn't so much fun to go to events anymore. And Mid Pond was a huge inspiration for us, just because, you know, Ken's such a good dude, and then all of the guys that come out here are just great people, and you know, we longed for that, for the Southeast, more of that, right? So our track is one dedicated to making sure that every single person that steps foot on our property feels welcome and loved and part of the family, and two, that you know, progression. If you're struggling out there on track, me or Caden would love to hop in the car with you and give you any type of orders that we could. So the progression of the community is also very important to us. And then, you know, if you're out there and you're seeing this and you want to build a track yourself, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. We'll do everything in our power, just like Ken did for us, to help you make that happen. And we have no problem with that at all. At the end of the day, it's not a competition. It's not, you know, it is a business. but it doesn't have to be cutthroat, and we can all work together to make this community the best community that it can possibly be.
I just had two individual thoughts. One was I just made a video about Nate Hamilton's new GR86, and this track costs less than Nate's GR86. So that was kind of a funny thought. But the second thing is, have y'all thought about running like a school or anything like that with
We
rental
do.
cars and everything? Do y'all have a rental school?
So we don't have rental cars yet, but we do driver
Working on
clinics.
it.
We
Working
are.
on rental cars.
We are working on
More
it.
things to fix.
More things to fix.
Well, not only that, but we also have pits that we have to pave, and that's really important, right? Because it's super annoying having to jack your car up on rocks. But we do have driver clinics. I think we're having one a month.
I think so.
One every other month.
Whenever other, maybe, yeah.
Something like that. We'll have we have 5 instructors that come out, and then at the last event, I think we had 5 students at that one.
I feel like we had a little more. I feel like we had more drivers than we had teachers. Maybe not many.
Maybe
Maybe
so.
we had like 8 drivers, 5 teachers, something like that.
Maybe so. So we spend that whole time. We don't have anywhere for you to do donuts. So your only option.
That's kind of good. I hate doing donuts all day.
right. Your
Even
only
for new
option
people.
I get
is
motion
to.
sick. You want a donut all day? I get so motion sick.
Yeah. Teaching is hard on you.
It really is.
It is hard.
Can't
And I
anticipate what they're
I
gonna
learned
do.
that pretty quick. But your only option is to hop on track and do it. Mm-hmm. And we're sitting over there cheering you on and giving you the best advice that we can give you as we're going around the
Sideline
track.
Cheerleaders,
Right.
for sure.
All right. So what's your 1-year plan? What are you constructing in 1 year, and what's going to change?
So we realized pretty early that that our original 1 year was a little ambitious, as far as income and money-wise goes. So our original one year plan was to pave pits, pave the road in, get concrete aprons and walls in. And then our 2-year was to widen the track. We want to widen it 10 feet everywhere except for turn 1 and build a school course next to the track. We have a berm right next to pit area. So the other side of the berm would be the school course. We wanted to pave that. And then 3rd year, we wanted to kind of just clean up everything, and then do bathhouses and maybe a couple rental areas for people to, come in, pay a couple bucks, have a place to sleep. 4th year was supposed to be dedicated to building a shop, where we would have, I think was it 5 bays that we had said?
I think we said 5 bays with 1 alignment rack, 4 lifts, and then kind of like all the tools that you would, I guess, need to fix your car that you broke.
And that would all be free of charge. Like if you came out there and needed an alignment, for an alignment maybe $15, $20, just
Cheap.
something. It doesn't matter. Throw us a little bit of money, pull your car up there, align your car on your own. If you wanted our help, we would be more than happy to help you. We'd have a bay, specifically dedicated to tires, and then just lifts and all the tools available for you to fix whatever went wrong in your car. And then the 5th year would be focused on. Sorry.
Keep going. It's distracting, isn't it? Having people
Yeah.
everywhere. We're knocking this thing out.
Right.
We got it. Don't worry.
The 5th year would be dedicated towards making that second course, and kind of further building the American Ebisu style place.
Needs to be real dangerous if you're going to do that, and you need a mountain.
That's
We
the
live
plan.
on
We
the
live
mountain.
we're on the
Even
mountain.
better.
Oh, good. I was going to say, and a lion and a tiger. The lion killed someone last year.
Oh God!
Yeah, you need like real danger.
I
We don't
got
need that dangerous.
Yeah.
I don't
I
want
got
to go
some-
through that lawsuit.
I got some wolves around.
That'll work. Somebody has to get maimed, or it's not Ebisu. Every time I'm
I
there,
guess.
something terrible happens. Okay, cool. Well, thank you so much. You have anything you want to ask me, or anything else going on? No.
What are your recommendations? Your like personal recommendations, if that
makes sense, I guess.
Yeah, we can do that probably off camera because it'll take too long. And that way, well, no, I can get down a sheet of paper and y'all can ask anything about finances and how to run events because I've been doing it for 20 something years.
We would love to have the input.
all
We
right.
really would.
We're all ears.
Cool. Well, I guess we'll end this video. Thank you so much for these guys for doing something for the drift community. It's so cool to see someone build something that's not a goddamn drift car. It's very cool to see like someone build infrastructure like a track or do something because there's not enough tracks getting built. And maybe in 10 years, this thing will get expanded and, you know, like get bigger and built out and get crazier. Cause like Ebisu's in the middle of nowhere. A lot of tracks like Apple Valley, which is a very loved track out in California, is in the literal middle of nowhere down like a 20-minute dirt road. There's so many things that are so cool, like little gems hidden around the country and stuff that if you guys don't know, Apple Valley was also repaved specifically for drifting and widened and stuff and became a really cool track. So there's so much cool stuff going on in the United States. I'm super excited to like live through it and see it and stuff. So thank you so much, YouTube audience, for like living through all this with us as well.
Hey,
Say goodbye, guys.
Thanks for having us. It was
Okay.
a pleasure.
Thank you. Bye.
Go comment in the bottom and give them some money on GoFundMe in the bottom of the thing, and we'll see if we actually raise anything for that so they can get their concrete aprons at your expense. And goodbye. Bye, everybody. Cool. Boom.
Bye, guys.
Sweet.